Podcast. Not a whole lot of time. We have the kids' open house today at school, so just making a very quick update. If no one has become aware yet, Dr. Fauci has stepped down, which is probably a good thing in the big picture, large scale of things. But with Joe Biden being in office, really the biggest threat in this aspect is who is he going to get to replace Fauci? Now, if it's anything that we've come to know with Joe Biden, it's probably going to be a tranny, social justice warrior type. And they've already began to implement things that are not only tampering with the everyday family and their ability to live a prosperous, good life, but they are now beginning to tamper with the parents' ability to control the outcome of the safety of their children. So this has the potential for as good as it sounds, to be very, very bad. So this is all something I just want you guys to keep in mind, that, just because this Fauci guy should have quit a long time ago, he's probably doing it in his best interest, not our best interest, and the best interest of the Biden regime more so than the American people. And a lot of people are beginning to kind of toss around the idea that the only reason that he is stepping down now is because he may fear some type of repercussion after November, when we get some more Republican seats in the House and the Senate. So like I said, this probably doesn't have anything to do with our best interest. It's probably going to become more of a issue for the American people than a good thing. If this would have come prior 2020, obviously we would be in a lot different situation than what we are in today. And as soon as I get the studio set up downstairs and the cameras back up, I'm going to do a video on kind of the timeline between the feeling of kind of this conservative libertarian gun community, every day, leave us alone, environment, and how they felt pre 2020 and the COVID response until today. And it really is shocking. And there's a couple of videos on the internet and on YouTube that really encompass kind of the feeling behind where Americans were at the time and where they are now, as well as this idea that I keep trying to almost shove down your guys' throat, that we're not just out here saying, man, my guns, you can't take my guns. It's not just all about that. The Second Amendment was put in place for a reason. And if we're not physically going to pick up arms and go against the federal government, the very least we can do is be a constant thorn in the side of the tyrants that hold office now, and constantly be reminding them that we're here. This is our contingency plan, and there just isn't anything you're ever going to be able to do about it without some type of major conflict. And I seen a very good video on Counting Cope's Instagram, where he kind of said, it gets cumbersome to keep being involved and keep training and keep putting in funds and time into preparations that you never really act on, and you never see any kind of payback. You don't see any positive gains from that can be physically counted. But what a lot of people don't realize is that there is that gain. We are gaining something. And just like the video I made yesterday about the IRS shit and them really overstepping the boundaries on the what the federal government is allowed to do and what they are trying to do, and then them trying to reel it back in. If we didn't have normal civilians on social media every single day, growing larger and larger, training and talking about being, reliant on themselves and cutting the cord from the federal government, if that wasn't the case, I promise you that the federal government would continue to push, continue to overstep their boundaries. So when we talk about the Second Amendment, when we do these training videos just to train, when we're spreading knowledge amongst the civilian population to not convince them to join the military, but to encourage them to have these tactics and this mindset, you know, separate from the federal government, the military, and law enforcement, to have it just be a part of your civil duties to be prepared, to be trained, to be able to pick up arms at any given moment to fight against a tyrannical government. That's not all being wasted. It is actually doing something. And I think Fauci stepping down today is just another example of that. A lot of people are saying he's stepping down because he's 81 years old. Well, he didn't step down when he was 80 years old. He didn't step down when he was 79 years old. He's clearly over the age of what he should be participating in his job field, yet he continues. So what's the difference between now and then? Well, the difference is we are stepping into a new dawn. We are finally beginning to see this woke environment start to crumble around itself, and the people that prop that bullshit up are getting scared. And the further Fauci can separate himself away from the Biden administration, the better. The more quiet he can go live out the rest of his life, the better. Because if he stays where he is at, if he stays in the spotlight of the American people, when there is a change in the White House, people are going to want answers. They're going to want the people that caused us this economical collapse that we've not even begun to truly feel. They're going to want answers to those questions. They're going to want justice for those tyrannical actions. So that is why I think Fauci stepped down today. As well as you're kind of seeing this woke SJW Biden regime and the Democratic Party trying to get as much of the gold and silverware off of the boat before it completely sinks. So I think, and in their mind, they're saying, hey, if we don't get somebody in there before November, there is a chance that we're not going to get our guy in there for the next lifetime of, world health crisis. So this is just something to really consider here. And the more time that we can buy ourselves going into November before Fauci gets replaced, or before they have a chance to implement any more the people that think like them and act like them, the better. And it's to also say that, everything that you do, every conversation that you have, if it's only just that at work or, in the break room or out at the grocery store, you're kind of, for lack of a better word, spreading the gospel of the Second Amendment and what it's actually there for, and this idea that we, the people, maybe have become complacent, but we are beginning to rise up amongst ourselves. We're kind of beginning to shake our own dog cage, if you will, and we're starting to get more hyper vigilant than we've been in a long time. And the federal government notices this. And like I said, yesterday. They are scared. They should be scared. And the more noise that we make, no matter what the impact is, it is a impact. And the more of us that make that noise, the bigger the impact we will have to kind of reshape and help slow down some of the downfall that we've begun to feel. So, like I said, I don't have a whole lot of time again today. We just will work with what we got until the studio's up downstairs, and hopefully, you guys stick with me because I really hate this kind of setup here, and I have noticed that the audio is trash compared to where I had it. And we just have to deal with it. So we will overcome and we will keep pushing forward. With that, guys, stay safe, stay prepared. I love you guys. God bless. America first. Peace, y'all.